sir. Okay, joining us now is Mark Martin. This weekend he's driving the number 5 CarQuest Auto Parts GoDaddy.com Chevrolet, currently 11th in points. And Mark, talk about your outlook heading into the Coca-Cola 600.
Well, I really liked the way the car performed Saturday night. I was really pleased and encouraged, and would have liked to have had that car to run in the 600, but that wasn't the plan anyway. These guys, Alan and the guys, feel like they had their best one set back for the 600. So got a beautiful paint job on the CarQuest Chevy this weekend, and I'd like to see that thing go to the front.
Questions now for Mark Martin. If you have one, we'll start back. Raise your hand. Who's got the microphone back here? Marty Smith. Go ahead, Marty, and then to Jeff.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Mark, how would you describe the prestige of the Coke 600?
Gosh, I don't know, Marty. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You don't get to choose which races you win. If you're lucky, you just get to win some. So I believe we have won it, but, to me, I've always stayed focused on winning another one rather than what the one that we did, in the past really meant. So at some point in my career, I'm sure I'll look back and remember that I won a couple of Southern 500s, and the 600. Hopefully, maybe a Brickyard and a Daytona 500 too. So, but right now at this time, I stay pretty much focused on how we're going to get the next one.
Next question, Jeff Hood, and then up here to Tom.
Yeah, Jeff Hood with RacingToday.com. Mark, considering the implementation of the free pass, the wave around, and the multiple green-white checkered rules over the past year or so, do you still see the 600 as an endurance race?
It is an endurance race, but it is quite different than it was in the 80s. I mean, in the 80s, you paced your equipment, you paced yourself, you paced everything. You don't pace yourself or your equipment anymore, based on the evolution of the equipment, the teams, and everything else. So it is still an endurance race, but it's actually much easier to conquer with today's stuff. Much more durable stuff. But back in the day, it was a challenge to make it run that long.
Let's go with Tom, and then we'll go to Tiffany here.
Hi, Mark. Tom Jensen, SpeedTV.com. When the checkered flag falls on the Coca-Cola 600, NASCAR's regular season will be half over. Can you grade yourself and grade your team on your first half of the regular season, where you are versus last year and where you are versus your own expectations?
I don't know if I really want to do that. We're doing the effort is an A+. The effort. That's the only grade I'll give you. That's the only one I care to grade.
Let's go Tiffany. Let's
Mark,
go with her. Go ahead, Tiffany.
Mark, Tiffany Wright with Channel 9. Can you just talk a little bit about, this long race, the adjustments that you have to make and that your crew has to make racing from day to night, and just the adjustments you have to make and what the track conditions are out there?
Well, this racetrack is very, very sensitive to temperature, to sunlight and temperature and everything else, and you have to learn. One of the nice things about having the All-Star race the week before, at night, is it gives you an opportunity to practice during the day and race at night and get a taste of what you're going to be dealing with. We do our practicing during the day. The race goes into the night, and you learn from experience. Each time you run one of these races, you build that knowledge. And it's a moving target because with the ever-changing cars, rules, setups, asphalt, tires, and all the other things, competition and everything else, all these things react and change a little bit differently into the night. So, you never can say, well, it did this 5 years ago, because it's actually, reacts some different now than it did, say, 5 years ago or 10 years ago. So it's a real team effort to make it, competitive at the start and be a contender at the end.
Let's go with Claire. Go ahead, Claire.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius NASCAR Radio. You have 2 poles here, Mark, in this event. Talk about qualifying here tonight and your approach to it.
Well, it's the same as qualifying anywhere else, but it's very prestigious. It's usually one day further out than most of our qualifying. I don't notice it as much now. Back in the day when we qualified on Wednesday, I believe, it was extremely prestigious to set on the pole here, and it still is, but I'm more used to it. Pole day was really a big deal back years ago when it was on Wednesday night or Wednesday evening or whatever it was, and I may be all confused, but I think it was back then.